All right, cheers.
They don't know about the Kumbaya meetings we had this week.
Behind. Good look. Three.
You just put yourself on the map. They didn't look into your heart. They didn't look into your heart. They didn't look into my heart.
All I want to do is compete.
Without Jerry McNamara, we would have won 10 fucking games this year.
Because they came to whose house? But doggone it, ain't it good to be winners again in the ACC?
All right, guys, welcome back to Cuse Yourself Podcast. I'm Chris,
I am Stacy.
and we were going to record this yesterday. Our voices were non-functional.
Our voices were non-functional, and this is about to be a pretty emotional episode, I guess. And the emotion is still sincere and still real. It would have been heightened
It would
a
have been
little
tough.
bit if we
It
came
would have been
right
tough
back last night,
to
yeah.
get through this yesterday, so we didn't do it. But here we are today.
Yep.
But let's start with Babe. What are we drinking today?
Today we are drinking Fratimal House from IBU.
Yes, thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, Chris's parents are up, and they got us a whole Syracuse collection
Amazing
of
stuff.
amazing goodies, and then of course added some beer to sweeten up the package just that much more. This is from IBU, from the place where we did our live show.
Yep.
And all their beer is like college themed. The names they're all college themed, but this one's cool too because it has Otto's cousin, Nato, or something like.
Nato.
Yeah, I'll probably get it wrong, and I'm sorry. But yeah, that it appears to be Otto, but it is a family member.
Right.
So yeah, we're drinking Fratimal House, and of course it's a sour.
Of course it's a sour. It's actually a very excellent sour.
So yeah, that's what we're drinking.
So that's what we're drinking. So let's start with shout-outs, and we have a season's worth of shout-outs. We have a
Yeah.
ton of people we got to talk about, so we're going to get through them as quickly as we can.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a super stat-filled episode, but at the same time, I don't think that's what anybody really
Wants or needs
Yeah.
right now. No. The season has ended, and I will...
Is it spring game yet?
Right. I will briefly say, while the season didn't necessarily go the way we expected or had expectations for to start the
It
season,
still didn't disappoint.
this is, as I posted in the group, hands down my favorite Syracuse football season of all time.
Yeah, and Tony kind of summed it up great. He was like, last year was an amazing season as a whole. It was super
Yeah.
exciting and everything. But this year definitely goes down as a favorite to a lot of us.
So I'm going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
Where it all began this year was at Liberty.
Yep.
And so the start of this whole charade was a Twitter tweet, a Twitter post from Mr. Sean Riley. Sean Riley's dad, Sean Sr. The Blur,
The Blur.
54, our man. We got pretty tight with him. That's my
Yeah,
man. That's my
yeah.
dude.
Forever our dude.
Yeah, so shout out to Sean. So Sean puts up on Twitter trying to get down to Virginia for the Liberty game. If any Syracuse fans are going, I would love to carpool. Now, at this point, Stacy and I have no intention on going.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say yes to anything, but yeah, we were thinking that the
Maryland was
following
going to be
week
our
was
first
gonna
week.
be our first one. Yeah.
Right, our first game of the year was going to be Maryland. We had no intention on going. He puts that tweet out on a Monday.
Monday was the day we did our draft.
Yeah, puts that tweet out on a Monday. A day to day and a half later, there was 0 responses. Nobody commented, nobody liked it, nobody sent him in a direction to find a way down. So I turned to Stacy, I said, so we're going to go to Liberty.
All right.
She said, okay, and I sent Sean a message.
Yeah.
So we shoot down to Liberty, and we were just looking for a tailgate. We don't know anybody. It's the three of us. And we pull up on this tailgate. We saw an orange flag in the air, and we pull up on this tailgate and met lifelong friends.
Yeah. I feel like they've been a part of our lives the whole time, and we just didn't know it.
Right. So we pull up. I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, ask you guys, can we tailgate with you?
Yeah.
And so we met Chris and Elena, who live in Maryland. No, they live in Virginia.
Yeah, they live in Virginia, yeah.
Chris and Elena live in Virginia. They were close to Liberty, so they'd made the drive. They came up and have seen games in the Dome this year now, and that's been amazing.
The other family that was there were the Parmenters.
The Parmenters, the M-Gens.
The M-Gens. And Jen, and you've heard us talk about them before, but Jen and Clayton and their daughter Hannah, and they have another daughter Amanda and her husband Jeff. They're expecting their first baby.
Yeah.
So we were only able to see one game with them.
Correct.
But they've traveled up for all the games here in the Dome, and we always, make sure to do a tailgate with them or whatever, and they've become an amazing part of our family.
Yeah, and they become great friends. So shout out to the M-Gens, Clay and Jen and Hannah. The off season is not going to be the same without you. We're going to get down though.
Yeah,
we're going to get down
we're
there.
gonna get down there.
We'll get down there and visit and see you guys. So that's where it started, and it grew from there, and 327 was where we set up home, and we bought season tickets there.
Yeah.
Your father's been there.
My father's, it's been a long time. we had season tickets more in the corner before that, but we've probably been in 327 over 10 years anyways.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, and we kind of moved around from a couple. It's been 20 years that we've had season tickets, but probably 10 years that we've been in 327.
Yeah. So we get up to 327, and I love it up there. There's space. You can see everything. And we meet a set of guys that we basically call the NWO crew.
Yeah, well, they named themselves that. And,
so they have the T-shirts, the
yeah.
NWO, and
New
that's just
World
what
Orange.
we call them. Yep, New World Orange. 327 for life, it says on the back. If you see Stacy and I on game days, we have donned those shirts. We are 327 for life. And so shout out to, Mr. SU Football and Matt in the Hat and all of those guys. Jackson's parents. All of those guys have made 327 what it is, and all we're doing is just trying to expand it.
And we've had people that, were part of 327 before kind of this whole when we started Cuse Yourself, and we've talked about it briefly before, but we started Cuse Yourself, the whole meaning kind of behind it was that a fan base of, especially a college level team, I think. I mean, I don't know for sure, but especially college, everybody's there for this with a like-minded reason.
Right.
And you roll up on tailgates and there's 4 people over here and 6 people over here. We wanted to make it better and more of a family. So we started Cuse Yourself. We wanted to bring the community together and the university together and players and parents and families and so we started in Liberty, and then we went to the Maryland game, and then the first home game we had was Clemson, and that's when we had our water gun fight.
Right.
And there
That
was
was amazing.
100 Cuse Yourselfers there that may have known, these 2 knew each other and these 3 knew each other, but we all came together with this one common bond and this one common goal, and that's when we got to meet Lisa and her husband, and just the most.
And that's when Surly Q started showing up.
Yeah, and now they're up in 327 with
Cousin
us.
James and Tim and those guys, they came up to 327. Like, it's just been, and step by step along the way, it's gotten better and better. The NWO crew came up.
Yeah, Joey's always been around with us, and
Our buddy Joey Burns, Joey Mack, he's always there. If you see us in 327, if you see us in an SU game, Joey is always there. So shout out to Joe J, Joe Burns, Joe Mack,
and
whatever you want to call him.
You always see orange. You can look at any picture of the Dome and you can see any highlight on the news. And of course there's orange everywhere, and there should be. But our little group, we have something, we've got
some characters.
Yeah, we've got some characters. We wear the headbands and whatever. And we'll go to a basketball game and the ushers will be like, oh my gosh, I totally know you guys from the football game. I don't know. It's cool to just be there orange, be there supporting, and then also have your own little flair. Obviously we got Tony and the kilt.
Yeah, Tony, the Aqua couple comes up, Tony and Kayla, and Tony's amazing.
Tony's
amazing.
Yeah.
Tony keeps the energy, and it was nice to meet like-minded people in that as a 327 is crazy. It's not for everybody. But let's get to these shout-outs, because otherwise we could talk forever. So I talked about the NWO crew. I talked about Matt in the Hat and Mr. SU and all those guys. Who else we got on the list here?
My pumpkin pie, Aaron Ziegler.
Oh, AA Ron.
Yeah.
My man AA Ron.
It's crazy enough, obviously Aaron and us have, met and bonded through Cuse Yourself. But a few weeks or whatever into our friendship, I noticed that his parents used to be my regulars when I was a waitress at Applebee's. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now he comes up to 327.
And at the end of yesterday's game, we were all there together or whatever, but Aaron and I had this emotional embrace afterwards. And
it was awesome.
Goosebumps.
Awesome. It was awesome. So Aaron comes up, and Matt Sherman, who we've talked about in the past, who's the Cuse Yourself recruiting guru.
Yeah,
he's my go-to for my
He heads our
recruiting.
research department.
He absolutely does. This guy he knows it all.
Yeah, but from now on, he'll be known as
Cowboy Cuse.
Cowboy Cuse. He came up with this amazing cowboy hat yesterday.
So yesterday at the game, he comes up the stairs with this orange cowboy hat with the orange lanyard on it, and he is now, Matt, if you haven't done it yet, it's time for you to change your Twitter handle. You're officially Cowboy Cuse. That is how you'll be known forever and ever. Amen. So,
And then, of course,
make that
Robert
happen.
Levengoth.
Goth.
My Goth.
boy Goth.
My dude. And like now our friendship has blossomed into now we go to basketball games with him, or he comes over and watches a game with
watches
us.
games. Yeah, so shout out to Goth, because just through the Cuse Yourself Facebook group, and he came and met us for tailgating,
Yeah.
and that has blossomed into a friendship
And there's
It's
no reason
fantastic.
that these pathways shouldn't happen.
right. Yeah, 12 months ago, if you take Joey away, I haven't,
Which we never would.
which we never would. If you take Joey away, I didn't know a single person on this list 12
Yeah.
months ago. And right now, I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. Actually, I'm a stone cold liar, because the next name on my list to shout out is my boy Travis and his daughter Lizzie. Travis sits across the way, 310 or 309 or something like that. He's come up twice now, once with his wife, and now yesterday he brought his daughter Lizzie.
Who could have just been a little baby Stacy.
Oh, yeah.
She was calling out plays and jumping up and down and
she was
yelling
having
for oh my gosh.
So he thought highly enough of us to bring his daughter into
Well, you
our world.
played football with
Yeah,
it,
I
like
played with
Pop
Travis.
Warner.
I've known Travis for almost all of my 40 years. So yes, I have known Travis a long time.
41.
Ish. Or so.
And, I mean, we mentioned him, but of course the Aqua couple, like we couldn't do any of this without the Aqua
No,
couple.
and our friendship with Tony and Kayla started at TBT. And
Yeah, like well, at the Louisville, at the senior game last year is when we actually face to face met with
Right.
Tony, and then had a few conversations since then. But yeah, like
we've
TBT
since
is-
TBT, it has ever since Tony got SWAT called on us in the parking lot at OCC, we couldn't let that dude go.
yeah,
That's it. He's with us for life now. Tony and Kayla are amazing. So shout out to all of those guys.
and it's only
Chris
gonna grow.
Courtwright has made it up. And I'll never remember everybody who's come up this
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
because there was just so many people have come and said hi and have watched some games with us. It's just been amazing.
And Santa that sits right when you come up the stairs. He's been there forever and a day.
Yep.
And his daughter that
First seat on the
yeah,
corner they are as soon as
they-
you turn the
yeah,
corner.
look, they give us a 5 every time walking up.
Oh my God, you know whose name I don't know? I don't know our usher's name.
I don't either. He's just my dude.
Shout out to the 327 usher for the football games.
And he does 115 for basketball.
He does 115 for we're going to have to go see him for a basketball
Yeah.
game, get his name. Shout out to him because he does a fantastic job.
And he enjoys us.
Yep. So, guys, if you're looking into getting season tickets for next year, if you already have season tickets and are renewing, come to 327. We're going to make that section the place to be. Directly across from us is 311 Heaven. Those guys are also great.
Right. Oh yeah, and there's conglomerates of amazing groups, but
Yep.
yeah, and now it's our turn.
Yep.
Let's-
And now
let's
we're
build a
just
group.
gonna grow and grow and grow. I need to get a wider angle lens camera because our selfie the other day took up pretty much all of it. But I know there's a couple guys who are already talking about migrating. So 327 for life, guys. Thank you to everybody who came up and saw us. Thank you
We're
for
all
everything.
we're all just there to give our little portion of the energy down to the field.
Yeah.
Where
You are part for the game,
Yeah.
for what the players are doing out there. So thank you to all you guys who came to saw us. It was fantastic. I cannot wait for next season. It's going to be amazing. Moving on. You gonna make it?
I don't think so.
All right, heard. So it was senior day. And that's always a rough one for us. We have a lot invested in these kids for the time that they're here.
I make it
Especially,
a point to know their story, to know their background.
Right.
Yeah.
we have spoken to and made wonderful friendships with the parents of some of the seniors, and to see them and to shake their hands and hug them for what's probably the last time
Yeah.
was rough yesterday.
Yeah.
It was rough. So
On both parts. It was rough for us,
Yes.
and there were parents that were coming up to us with tears in their eyes. and-
yes. So shout out to, Donna and Jim and Sid, and those guys were awesome. From everything, we met them at the spring game all the way through.
My darling faces of the Hofrichters.
Yeah. You went up and sat with them through the third quarter last
Yeah.
game, and then found me again somewhere, wherever I happened to be. I stumbled around with Tony for the second half of that game. I don't even know. But
And as
yeah.
much as he won't admit it, Mr. Hofrichter is going to miss me.
Oh, yeah, he will. He will. He might not admit it. He'll admit it. He'll admit it.
My voice is still cracky.
My voice is still a little rough. Still a little rough. But
Aaron's about to have a little pumpkin pie who will don an orange onesie. If Aunt
Yes.
Stacy has anything to say about
exactly. That's going to happen. We made such close friends. Like Kevin and Nikki, the
Oh my gosh.
Colemans were.
it. Incredible human beings.
We used to talk pre-game, Kevin and I. We talk football. We would talk X's and O's for an hour before the game and game strategy, and we would just talk. And those guys, sometimes they're just looking for an outlet. And hopefully I gave that to them, whatever it is that they needed from me, and I could give to them. Because I can't imagine the stress of being a D1 college athlete parent.
Yeah.
Especially one as
Well, I thought it was stressful
highly
when
recognized.
my son played rec league basketball.
Right? Exactly.
But yeah, to have your child highly recognized, which also comes with, positive and negative alike, it's, so to have an outlet for them is important and special. And, Carl Jones' parents who,
Carl Jones, they're
his dad,
phenomenal.
I could sit down with his dad for 4 hours and talk football. Like,
Yeah.
and Lakeem's parents who brought me
Quiet as could be, stay to themselves, but man, they are like the epitome of manners and humble. Like the textbook definition of Southern manners and humble. They're
Yeah.
phenomenal people. But to all the seniors who gave their time and effort, from Andrew and Alton and Kendall and all those guys, to Carl Jones, to everybody, to KJ Ruff and guys like that who
you may not have always heard his
you may
name.
not have always heard his name, but he was always out there. And he, this year he had to fill in a lot of times. So
Durig, just as excited to walk around and shake hands as anybody.
yep, Andreas. So that brings me to our next point.
Okay.
So 3 guys specifically. We could name all of the seniors, and they were all amazing. And, Sterling, obviously, who's going to be kicking at the next level, and right now as a college player looks like an NFL Hall of Famer. The kid is hands down the best punter in the country. He doesn't win the Ray Guy Award. I got an issue. But there's 3 guys I want to talk about specifically, names you may not always recognize. One you just said, Andreas Durig, Carl Jones, and Otto Zaccardo. So Justin Lustig is the special teams coach.
Right.
And he has made the best special teams unit in the country for 3 solid years
Yeah.
now. Or more. Might be all
Well,
4 years.
I think he's only been
He's
with
only
us
been
for
here
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for 3 years, we've had the best special teams in the country, undisputed. These guys, Otto Zaccardo, Carl Jones, and Andreas Durig, are special teams guys. Carl Jones was number 2 on the depth chart. He was behind Iffy, and he did get playing time at defensive back and made some great plays this year. But him and Otto and Andreas were starters on the special teams year in and year out, and what made our
It was
special
just
teams special.
known teams they're always going to call a fair catcher. They're always going to,
Yeah.
and that's because of the players that are coming at you. That's because of the helmets that are coming your way.
Yeah.
And those helmets included 3 of our amazing seniors.
Yeah, our kickoff coverage team, our punt coverage team, our punt return team, all of that, those guys, So Andres Durig played on the blocking team, the offensive line team, for extra points and field goals, and on the punt team for 3 years. He was the protector. It's guys like that. I don't remember a blocked kick.
Right.
I don't believe one happened. If I'm wrong, guys, correct me. I don't think we've had a blocked kick. So it's guys like that that give their 4 years and sometimes go unrecognized.
Yeah.
I made mention of it to Otto Zaccardo when he came through the line, and I shook his hand and I said, thank you for 4 years of everything. And he kind of, just shook it off because he hears a lot from everybody. But I stopped him. I said, it's guys like you that make our special team special. And it's just nice for the kids to hear something like that because he did it all on special teams. I think he was on all 4 kickoff, kick return, punt return teams. The kid's a hell of an athlete. He was the one that was in the top 50 freak athletes in the country, collegiate ones. Squats 615 pounds. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Carl Jones ran a 4.2940 laser time.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are tremendous athletes. So shout out to those 3 guys. Shout out to all the seniors.
Sean and Mo and
everybody.
Oh gosh.
And everybody. Sean is such, like, for kids watching football should watch Sean Riley as an inspiration. He's literally this big, Sean. But none of that mattered to him.
None of it matters.
Contact didn't matter to him. He's scared of nothing. And
he will learn, he will listen, he will take criticism, and his heart grows a million times.
Was a fantastic player for us for the whole time he was here. And committed from Los Angeles. Like, this is a kid that came across the country to come here. He'd never seen snow before.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Sean Riley, who I hope for his kick return ability can find a spot. He's got a niche. Lakeem Williams at 110 tackles this season was tied for the ACC lead. And if he doesn't bang his shoulder up at the end of that Wake game, he might have been the ACC tackles leader this season.
Quarterback nightmare.
And that he was. So, to all you seniors, and if you happen to watch this, I don't know if you will or not, thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Clayton Welch was able to take out with his first win.
Clayton Welch hadn't won a game since Butte College.
Where he played with Lakeem.
Williams. Yeah. So, like, Clayton Welch gets to come in as a senior and start a game and finish a game, even after taking a vicious targeting penalty that we got hit with the north of the Mason-Dixon line review.
I still see you 1-8.
I still see you 1-8. Still see you. And he came back, and we won that game, and he played fantastic. So, shout out to all of those guys, and there's a million guys, we're not even going to remember them all. Thank you. That's all I can say. From Cuse Yourself to you guys, and the parents and all of you, thank you for everything you've done. But we have more years.
We do have more years.
There's a year next year.
That's the glorious thing about being a fan is you get to invest in the 4 years or 5 years that a kid is here, and then you still get to be...
Or longer if you're... Oh my God, what's his name? The kid that was here for 36 years.
Oh, Antoine Cordy.
Antoine Cordy. Longer
he
if
just
you're
doesn't,
Antoine Cordy.
and I don't blame him. He just doesn't want to give up.
Right.
He doesn't want to leave. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah. So, and he's another one. And shout out to Antoine Cordy and Scoop. And like, just so many guys that will be missed. Evan Adams. So.
But yeah, we still get to be fans, and we have, more guys coming in and more guys that don't graduate this year that are coming back, and so we're fortunate that we still get to love.
Yeah.
But
and a lot of times those guys come back to see games. Speaking of that, missed opportunity yesterday. If he happens to be watching this, I'm going to tag him on Twitter too. We migrated our way into the student section, and as I'm watching the game, a guy comes and stands next to me, and I glance at him out of my left side. I'm like, "Wow, that looks like Ryan Guthrie." But he lost some weight. He lost some weight.
He's not donning his uniform.
Right, he's not donning his uniform. He looked a little smaller. So I'm like, wow, that can't really be Ryan Guthrie. So I go to Google him just to like compare it so I can get my memory right. By the time I get there, he's gone. Comes up, sure it was Ryan Guthrie. So Ryan,
Would
if
have
you
loved to
happen to
shake your
see
hand
this, I would
again.
have loved to have shaken your hand again.
Shy was there.
Shy was there. Shy Cullen. So like guys come back, and hopefully a lot of these guys come back and see us. But it was nice to have them.
And any of the parents out there, any of my loves out there, if you are feeling like you need a little orange in your life and you want to come to a game next year, hit us up. We'll get you in. We'll get you in 327.
You can get up 327 with us.
We'll give you
See
the
it from a different
tailgate.
perspective.
Yeah, we'll give you the tailgate glory. The Kellers do that now. Matt Keller graduated last year. Now they have their season ticket
They're
holders.
season ticket holders.
So I mean, Orange Pride Forever is a true and sincere statement, and it goes for the athletes that play, and it also goes for the parents that literally give their life. Football
travel
doesn't
time.
start as a freshman in college. They've given their whole lives since Pop Warner, since whatever these parents have given all of their energy to it too, and so they deserve to be recognized and also welcome back with open arms.
Yeah, for sure. They can always come back. Anybody that we've met is always welcome. Up in the
And
Electric
anybody
Factory.
we haven't met is always welcome.
Anybody. Bring them all. Bring everybody. But we do have another year next year. Let's give just a little look forward ahead to what's going to be coming for Syracuse football.
Ooh, real quick,
Go.
so that I don't miss it if we don't go back to it. Mo, on his senior day, on his last game in a Syracuse uniform, surpassed Bill Hurley.
Okay.
Surpassed Bill Hurley and will leave Syracuse as the 9th all-time
Leading rusher.
rusher for yards with 2,560 yards.
So he's 9th all-time in rushing in a backfield that he split carries for his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dante Strickland was there.
357, 488, 869, 846 were his years.
It's quality. And a 9th all-time in a school that has some pretty solid running back history. Mo's going to catch on. Mo's an NFL player.
Yeah.
There is an absolute place for a shifty pass-catching back like Mo Neal
Can you
in the NFL.
picture Shelly with the NFL dad, though?
Oh, man, it's going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. We'll be there.
All right,
Mo
and
lands on a
I
team.
digress.
We're going. We're going.
All right.
So next year, let's start with what we're going to see first,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go into next year. There's going to be some coaching changes
Of course.
in some fashion or another. It's going to happen.
Of course, B-Dubs
B-Dubs
was
is
let go
gone.
a couple weeks ago, and Standard.
Standard took over and looked good against Duke.
I just don't
Not
know
so
if
good
it's
against
good
Louisville.
enough.
Okay yesterday. I don't know if it's good enough because Dino and Wild Hack and the fans, not that we have any say in it, are looking for better.
Or different. Yes, better, but better may come with different, and sometimes you have to go outside of the house
Of what you know, right.
to get different.
I don't know if it's going to be an in-house hire. If it is, obviously I would assume Standard gets it. I don't think he has done enough in his 3 games to paint his portrait. So there's going to be an out-of-house hire, most likely for defensive coordinator. No idea who it could possibly be.
Yeah, no, and I mean everybody's been shooting around names, but it's not for us to speculate or
Yeah.
even discuss.
There's been names thrown around. There's guys that people want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who's on the short list.
I don't know if anybody does right now.
Oh no, there's definitely a short list.
Yeah,
Wild
right,
Hack has.
yeah.
Wild Hack probably has between 5 and 10 names that he's going to give to Dino. There is a short list. I don't know who's on it. If I hear anything, I probably still won't tell you.
No, yeah.
So sorry about you. Yeah, we're not ones for giving insider information. If that's why you're watching, this is the wrong podcast for you. But there will be coaching changes. What I don't want to see, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this hardcore, I want to see Mike Cavanaugh back,
Yeah.
the offensive line coach. I think he took a hard knock for most of this season, but I think at the end of the day, he did a really, really good job.
And when he was given the autonomy to do personnel changes,
Yeah.
he did it the right way, and you could have split this season in half with the way that the O-line was
For sure.
looked or whatever.
Right. So I hope he comes back. I'm basing a lot of that on my vision of what happened with Aaron Service and Carlos Vettorello. The decision to move Carlos Vettorello to center didn't happen in week 2.
Right.
It
And
probably
nor
was
could it.
right, nor could it,
Yeah.
because you just didn't know anything. So that decision probably happened. If I had to guess, I would say after NC State. After the NC State game, the decision was probably made that we need to make a change, and Aaron Service needs to get back to tackle where he should be. But you don't just go and take the tackle and say, guess what?
Yeah.
Now you're snapping the ball. So in 3 weeks, 4 weeks tops, Mike Cavanaugh took an offensive tackle and taught him to play center. And from that moment of that switch, everything changed.
Right. He taught him to play center, and I can almost guarantee that Aaron Service tucked him right underneath his wing and took the A, B's, and C's that Kavanaugh gave and
gave him in-game experience stuff. So another reason I like him to come back is because our offensive line returns 4 starters. From what was dubbed all season as the worst offensive line in college football, we're here to tell you why that won't be the case going forward. I know that we've defended them tooth and nail, but there's some legitimate highlights to speak about, and we're going to get to that. So we have 4 returning starters, right? Who are the 4 starters?
we have Service, we have Vettorello, we have Dakota Davis, and
our boy.
Oh my gosh! Of course, yes, Matthew Bergeron.
Whose mother Annie is one of the most wonderful people on the planet.
She's this big.
Yes.
And she's just the cutest pumpkin ever and doesn't speak a lick of English, and I adore her.
And drives 7 hours from Quebec, Canada.
Right, with Matthew's siblings.
With their siblings, and they're awesome. They're awesome. But so we have Bergeron, Vettorello, Service, and Dakota Davis coming back. Mm-hmm. Also have Patrick Davis,
who had a fair amount of playing time.
And when he got in, he looked really, really good.
Really good, yeah.
Looked really, really good. And he was the backup right guard to Dakota Davis, and the backup left guard was
Darius.
Not
Ashley.
Hashtag my name's not Ashley Tisdale. Boy, if he ever gets a hold of this, he's gonna be mad. Him gonna be mad. But yes, so we're returning both backup guards to fill in where Evan Adams left. Mm-hmm. So we have experience there as well. And then they're trying to bring in the transfer from Florida. I'll never remember his name right now. I apologize, Cowboy Cuse. I know you want me to know his name, and I don't know it. I apologize. But here's where it gets things you need to know.
Mm-hmm. In those 4 returning starters.
Yes. If you draw the line at, what did we say?
Florida State.
So everything.
Florida State and to now.
Yes. Florida State was the first game of Matthew Bergeron.
Because that was right after Ryan Alexander left.
So we're going to wash that game out because that was a first start for a true freshman. Mm-hmm. After Florida State was Boston College. If you take Boston College, Duke, Louisville, Wake Forest, those 4 games to end the season, we gave up 8 total sacks in 4 games. For perspective,
we had 9
right.
in Pitt.
We gave up 9 against...
When Pitt came.
When Pitt came, we gave up 9. We gave up 8 sacks in the last 4 games. We averaged 37 points a game and had 222 rushing yards a game. That's what we had the last 4 games of the season.
If somebody had just those stats in front of them, they would never... The world's worst offensive line would never come into a conversation with those stats in front of them.
No, yeah, if you looked at that as a 4-game scenario and said the offensive line that played those 4 games is returning 4 starters next year, you'd be stoked about it.
And for perspective to that, we finished the year 70th in college football for rushing.
Yeah.
For our offensive line stats. And we were at like 104.
Yes.
Week 6 or 7.
Yeah, we finished 70th in the country in rushing.
70th might not be the best expectation.
And 59th in passing.
The improvement.
Right. We're middle of the road is where we finished, but considering where we were after...
We had to climb up a lot of stairs to get to equal ground.
After Pittsburgh and all that, considering where the numbers had us, to end at 70th rushing and 59th passing, it shows dramatic improvement, and I think that
And it
Kavanaugh
shows-
did a good job.
Yeah, it shows what we have to look forward to, and the glimmer of hope and
Yep.
yes, we look through everything with orange-colored glasses, but we also saw this glimmer of hope that was hard to see.
Yeah.
But now it's right there in front of us.
It's there, and the numbers are there for the numbers guys who always want to, ask about show me the proof.
Right, they're right there.
Here's the proof for 4 games. We looked really good.
And like Dino always says, like, you can't eat the cake before it's cooked.
Yes.
And so our cake just needed a little bit of time to cook, and that's okay because, like, and then you go into next year where Aaron Service is the only one that graduates. Like, we're
going to return 4 starters again the following year.
There's a lot to look forward to with this offensive line.
So there was a lot of griping throughout the year about our recruiting and how we didn't have enough recruiting to fill in the gaps. Well, this was a tough year for that. Yes, it did look and appear that way on the surface. But going forward, when you look at it, it's not really the case as much as it appeared.
Mm-hmm.
So all we could do is hope for the best for next year. But I think we have a really good base to land on for our offensive line next year, and I'm looking forward to it.
And we always say, and I mean, you kind of taught me this, but the offensive line is the most cohesive portion of any football team.
Oh my God,
they are, and so much to go towards that is when the senior walk was happening, and we were down watching everything. We had made ourselves over to the student section, so we were close to the tunnel. Aaron Service had come out of the locker room and back onto the field, not as a senior, but just there.
Just on the field.
And in his pocket was Carlos Vettorello. Like,
inseparable. Vettorello literally was like those two were.
They're not just a unit whistle to whistle. Like, no. They need to know how each other breathe and walk and talk, and it's happening. And
so good for Vettorello for just wanting to be around and learning, and
also good for it's Aaron as a seasoned player can look past the negativity. But when you have, like, Matthew Bergeron came in as a true freshman, there's faith and the knowing of something in the future to happen isn't necessarily expected of an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He could have come in already defeated. He could have come in like, well, I might as well just believe in the fact that this O-line is trash and not give his all. And that he didn't.
Boy, that kid's great. That kid is
a monster.
He is a true freshman offensive lineman who started his first game in Power 5 football. He didn't get a liberty to start his season.
Right, yeah.
He came in as a true freshman Power 5 football.
I can't even remember him backing up for a play or two.
No, I don't think he really saw the field. That kid is going to be special. That kid's going to be special.
Yeah. And we have him for a long
we have him
time.
for 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
We have him for 3 more years.
Annie, if this translates into French, we love you in 327.
Je m'appelle, cuse yourself. That's where I'm going.
Waterboy's home right now learning French.
Learning French. I have Google Translate. Does a great job. Did a great job. So we have that coming back, the offensive line. We're returning 2 of our 3 starting receivers with Tristan and Taj on the outside. Sean graduated.
Which slides Nykeem in.
Which slides Nykeem in, who's now a junior with experience. There's still, we had true freshman, what was his name? Courtney Jackson. Hashtag my name's not Curtis.
Right, he called him 50 Cent.
Hashtag my name's not Curtis Jackson, who will be a redshirt freshman next year. Super athletic kid, lightning quick. There's
we return
Anthony Keeley's back.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan is back. We're returning a lot of skill position players.
Yeah, we return both Aaron Hackett and Luke Benson.
Yep. And have Steve, hashtag my name's not Wayne Mahar, who's an incoming freshman at tight end, who is an elite tight end. Our tight end depth, will allow us to spread the field because you can put those guys in the short slots.
Yeah, and then, of course, we now go to the backs.
Returning 3 of those.
Yeah, with Jordan, Jarvion Howard, and
Abdul Adams.
Abdul Adams, yeah.
And incoming have two running backs, and I don't remember their names right now. Marlowe Wax is one. The other one's escaping me. I'm sorry again, Cowboy Cuse. I'm sure you'll comment underneath and let everybody know who they are. But yes, we have two more running backs coming in who will probably redshirt just because of our depth.
Right. And that's why Jawar did not dress yesterday.
Correct. Jawar did not dress yesterday. He had already played in 4 games.
And Jarvian, I'm sorry, yesterday during the games, I was just yelling out, yay, Jay.
Jay.
Because
Jay name.
in the moment of excitement and then in the moment of, woo, I can't remember what letters are supposed to come after Jay.
So we are replacing only really 2 starting positions in offense. You know what else we get back? A healthy Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
He has not been healthy since Maryland.
Yeah.
It's been, it was his ribs, and then it was, whatever else, and then yesterday's injury. He gets the offseason to heal.
And heal properly. And yeah.
Heal properly.
His strength and conditioning is going to be key this offseason, and I have zero doubt in our strength and conditioning
fine,
team.
And he'll be back behind an experienced offensive line, and I expect this team to really do big things offensively next year. Defensively, there's some question marks because we're losing
I can't say.
Alton Robinson, Kendall Coleman, Lakeem Williams, Andrew Armstrong.
I already miss you guys.
Those 4, we already said Lakeem Williams
And Chris
led
Frederick.
the ACC.
Oh my gosh, we haven't
and
mentioned Chris Frederick one time.
Chris Frederick we're missing. This was one of the best corners in the ACC for 3 years running. Man-to-man lockdown corner, Chris Frederick. Andrew Armstrong, who played every game of a 4-year career except yesterday. The
emotion on that boy's face.
He was hurt at the previous game.
Donna, I'm sorry. I know I just started making you cry too.
He was hurt in the previous game and tried to do it and was not medically cleared in time. So he didn't get a chance to play in his senior game, but he got a chance to witness an amazing game.
Scoop didn't play either. That's got to be so heartbreaking.
So, losing Scoop and losing Chris Frederick and Alton and Kendall, two anchor defensive ends, Antoine Cordy.
I mean, I know he's not on the line.
But, it's not impossible to replace.
Mikal
Jones, as a
looked
true
great.
freshman, looked great. Also, true freshman Lee Pogba, who didn't get much linebacker time but played special teams all year. He'll be more ready to play come next year. Juan Wallace, when he had his time this year, looked really, really good. I didn't realize Terrell Richards was only a sophomore.
Yeah, so we still have him for a bit.
We still have 2 more years of Terrell Richards, who, if I will get to this in 1 second, but if what I want to happen happens, Terrell Richards is my guy. So we have returning linebackers. It is tough to replace the experience of Andrew Armstrong and the athleticism of Lakeem Williams. But when
they've
you
also
have guys,
they knew that it was their last year. They've also been working with these guys, and
Mikal Jones made insane progress for a true freshman at linebacker. So he'll be back next year. Juan Wallace was a sophomore this year, so we got him for junior, senior next year. Terrell Richards, we have experience. We're not just digging down into all true freshmen.
right. And our secondary,
Is we'll bring back
right.
Trill, Cisco, Iffy, that's 3 NFL players.
I
right
saw
there.
on Twitter yesterday. Saturday's game was a triller.
Instant Triller.
And I know, he's not a senior, and I know a lot of this is kind of geared towards that, but damn Trill.
Damn Trill. So, yeah, we're returning quality secondary and had an incoming 4-star freshman this year who never saw the field because of our depth with, like I said, Chris Frederick and Scoop and Carl Jones. But Nunya,
yeah.
Cornelius Nunn Jr.,
Yep.
#Nunya, he'll be a sophomore next year, or redshirt freshman probably. I'm assuming he redshirted.
Yeah, I don't remember him
And
playing
this kid is super talented. So we have talent coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Kingsley Jonathan will be back.
Well, and then on the line we got McKinley.
McKinley Williams will medical redshirt this year. He'll be back. Josh Black will be back. So we have returners. It is always tough to lose caliber of guys like Alton and Kendall, Lakeem and Andrew and Scoop. But we were deep there.
Yeah.
Defensively, we're deep.
And I mean, coaches know how to handle this situation far better than me, in the emotional and in the player aspect. Like, every year you lose somebody. It's not like the professional. Like, I don't know. Every year you lose somebody. It's college. People are going to leave every year, so they know how to replace and who best to fill shoes. And
another guy whose shoes probably are unfillable.
oh, absolutely unfilled.
But we also said that when Riley Dixon left. When Riley Dixon left Syracuse, you couldn't fill those shoes. Riley Dixon for Heisman. I don't care who you were.
Unless you were.
I thought when Sterling Hoffrichter when Riley left and Sterling Hoffrichter took over, I felt bad for Sterling.
I know.
Because how do you come in following one of the favorites of this team?
Well, and again, like I've said before too, like that was definitely the era where all we cared about was our punter was our MVP.
We kicked a lot. And
he did
Sterling ended his career as arguably the Ray Guy Award winner this year.
The award ceremony is December 12th. It's in Atlanta.
Okay.
He's obviously one of the finalists. The other two are Dane Roy from Houston and Max Duffy from Kentucky. There's still fan voting available.
Yeah.
You can still go to Ray Guy and vote.
Vote.
Yeah, the fan votes only count for a portion of it. So when you go on there and you see, I think it's the kid from Houston is, at 90% of the fan votes right now. That doesn't mean, oh gosh, don't vote.
Right.
Because the fan votes only count for a portion of it. They don't give the college award
to fan
just
vote.
the fan. Yeah,
to the biggest fan base.
It's not the Nickelodeon Awards.
Yeah, there's a lot of people live in Houston, so I assume they have a lot of fans voting.
And I don't know if you can vote every day or not. I do, but it always says like we've already counted your vote. So
I try voting every day. I try voting a couple times a day. Whatever. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, the college football awards are December 12th.
I don't know how to replace a guy like Sterling Hoffrichter
And Nolan, but Nolan will.
Most likely it will be Nolan Cooney. I know we're bringing in
that 5-star from
five-star
California, but
punter.
I think is he the okay. I thought no, I knew he wasn't the kicker.
Yeah, he's a punter. He's not a combo kicker. Where Sterling was a combo, he could punt or kick, as we clearly saw this year when he banged a 52-yarder. But Nolan Cooney, who currently is the holder, if you don't know that name, get to know it, because this is one of the most all-around athletes on the football team.
And if you go into the gym and you're a fly on the wall while they're working out and working on their strength and conditioning, everybody knows this guy's name.
He's a big dude. Nolan's a big guy. He's been the holder for 2 years. At least 2, maybe 3. Oh! You saw that?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow, that was greedy.
Can't blame me.
Right? So I believe there's a chance Nolan Cooney in his senior year is going to be punting, and the incoming freshman will take over after that. But we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, but that's a tough one. Like,
And that'll all happen in the off season, and it
Yeah.
won't be anything that we're privy to. We'll go at the spring game. They always have the kicking contest and things of
Right.
that nature, and we'll get to see it. And we still won't leave with an answer.
Right.
There's not, you don't just get a bag of answers when you're at the spring game. Like that stuff.
you
is
get
all,
you get a tentative depth chart, but that's just to give
Yeah.
the media and fans something to look at. That's really all the tentative depth chart is. But I think we have a lot of talent coming back next year, so I'm excited. I'm excited, and
know what
I will
else?
set my expectations wherever the hell I please.
And we're again, this has been very senior day kind of oriented, but we freaking won a game yesterday.
Yes.
And it was Thanksgiving vacation, so the students were all gone, of course, and then a lot of fans do their thing on vacation.
Yeah.
So like the dome wasn't as packed as some people might want it to be, but the 9,000 or whatever, I can't even remember. I know they listed attendance, but I wasn't
didn't
paying
hear
any
it.
attention
Yeah.
to it. So I don't even know how many were actually, and again, that's always for sold number,
Sold,
not
yeah.
turnstile
I would
number.
say I would venture to say seats like people in the building, it couldn't have been more than 12 or 15 tops.
Yeah. So, in our list of thank yous to the players and the parents and the staff and everybody, a humongous thank you to the crowd that was there yesterday.
It was
Man,
loud.
we had that joint rocking.
It was loud for 15,000 people in that place.
Every one of those guys in uniform appreciated every second of that.
Yeah.
So, awesome job, guys.
So next year, as a positive light, I will set my expectations as I please, because I'm not a guy who falls to disappointment.
There's some definitely, I know there's some changes that you would like to see in the defensive schematic of the game.
There is,
and that's something certainly we can get more in depth.
Well, I'll
to
touch
in
on
the
it
offseason.
briefly, just because there's a chance they hire somebody before our next podcast, and
Well,
I want my opinion to be out there. Listen, Dino.
Of course, he wants his opinion to be out there.
So we have run the 4-3, 4-2-5 Tampa 2 defense now in the Brian Ward era.
Very zone oriented.
Very zone oriented, very bend but don't break. I would like to hire a guy who runs a 3-4. And, McKinley Williams can still man the middle at nose. Josh Black is athletic enough to move to the outside. Still have Kingsley Jonathan. And, I know that we lost 2 linebackers. But, as far as linebackers with experience, we still had, like we said, Mikel Jones, Terrell Richards, and
in a 3-4, all that does is just open up your option to blitz, and
aggressive.
Terrell Richards and
Juan Wallace, Lee
right.
Popa,
And I was going to say,
Pogba.
I always want to say Kapoka, but I believe the K is silent. That blitzing is that's their gig, that's their game.
Yep.
And to put pressure on quarterback, one of the biggest things people want to see is our giving up of the deep ball.
Yes.
And if we run a 3-4 and we run it the right way, put
With
pressure
some
on that
man-to-man
quarterback.
coverage and some blitzes and pressure, we have the corners to run man-to-man coverage. Trill and Iffy and Cisco with a single deep safety.
Yeah, and you put pressure on that quarterback, one little off step on his pass, and
Changes
Cisco's
everything.
going to pick them all up.
Cisco's taking it. Iffy's taking it. Trill's
Yeah.
taking it. These are ball hawks. We have man-to-man cover corners and a safety that can work with that. I would like to see a 4-3.
3-4.
I'm sorry. I'd like to see a 3-4.
I think I'm here.
With 4 linebackers, and we have linebackers coming in, so we'll have more depth. We have Justin Barron, who even as a freshman, this kid's like 6'4", 210 pounds, and listed as an athlete on his recruiting. So, this kid is a ball player.
And I mean, of course, we still have Rhino, who plays
Still have
every
Rhino.
position. I'm surprised we've never seen him at quarterback. I'm pretty
Right.
sure he plays in the band and in the cheer squad. Like, I'm pretty sure he does everything.
So Rhino will get time at D-line next year. But if we go to a 3-4, I just think it'll be more aggressive. You can get more creative with your blitz packages. A 4-3 hinders your ability to be aggressive because they already know where 4 of the guys are coming from.
Right.
So that's just what I would like to see. I know one name that has been thrown at me, and I couldn't believe it was even a possibility, was Rob Ryan. Now, don't laugh, because I laughed when I heard it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
again,
how is
it's just
that?
been a name that's been thrown around. We don't know anything.
Right, I don't know anything. I don't have any insider knowledge.
But his aggressive and he's Rex Ryan's brother. Like,
Right. But when I first heard the name, I said, I don't understand why Rob Ryan would want to come coach at
Or
Syracuse.
even be in, like,
or
the
even be in the conversation. But apparently Rob Ryan took a job as the linebacker coach at Washington right now. So I guess elite defensive coordinator really wasn't what he was trying to... Like, he was an NFL defensive coordinator. So I guess if he's coaching linebackers at Washington, he's definitely a guy I would put on the list.
But I wonder sometimes, like, if you have that gumption to teach, college is almost where you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, when you obviously you're still a coach in the professional realm of the game, and you still do teaching, but you can. I mean, like we Aaron Service played linebacker in high school, and now is on the offensive line. Like, these kids are still learning their true passion of the game. So to have somebody that is so aggressive and wants to teach, whether it be Rob Ryan or whoever, like, college
I
level
wouldn't be
coaches
against
are
a Rob
important.
Ryan. I think a guy like that with his boisterous personality and his aggressive nature is exactly what this fan base needs,
Right.
as well as what this team needs.
And it pairs well with the whole Orange is the New fast offense. Like
Right.
to have an exciting kind of cliche to both sides.
Yep. So a guy like that is what I'm looking for, and hopefully I get what I'm looking for. As always, I want to get what I want.
Can we just talk about how super Syracuse it is to win in overtime by 9?
Seriously, is there a more Syracuse thing to do than to win in overtime by 9? Insane. Insane.
All 4 of our D-backs had
A turnover.
had turnovers.
3 picks and a
And
takeaway.
a damn steal. And he did
Yeah,
it.
that
in-
wasn't a fumble recovery like it's listed in the,
Yeah,
in
he
the
made
stat
the
line.
Sports Center top 10 at number 6, and because I'm corny and I have to mention it, at top 7 or at number 7, the play was from a kid from Lake Oswego,
Oregon.
which is Eric Dungy's alma mater.
Right.
So the whole thing is just so cool.
Yeah, so we've, guys, yes, 5-7 isn't what we wanted this year. It's not.
But it's also probably not what the kids wanted either. Like,
No, of course
let's not
not.
try to pretend like we are more like,
Than the kids are.
yeah, we're not more disappointed. No.
No. I will end this with a tweet I told you I read yesterday that said, if 5-7 is our basement, I'll take that.
Because the start
Everything
of the
that
year we
could
looked
go wrong.
shaky. So I mean, to come out 6 weeks ago, nobody would have thought we would have come out 5-7.
No, we were a 3-9 football
Mm-hmm.
team. So if 5-7 is our basement, with losses to Pittsburgh and NC State that both could have gone either way, we could have been 7-5.
And then one of our losses was to Clemson.
Right. If that is our baseline, the absolute worst we're going to do, because I can't imagine it being worse than this year, because everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Right.
From
injuries
injuries to
and
Heckle
misplacements
and
and-
McKinley Williams and Tommy, like injuries across the board to,
Coaching shifts in the middle of the season.
yeah, a lot happened this year. So if 5-7 is our baseline, next year, I absolutely see us going to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to set expectations at 10-2.
And I truly think that that's the difference with this season, as much as it didn't meet some expectations, and other seasons that didn't meet expectations. And 10 years ago, when we literally celebrated when we got a first down or got past the 50, there was no silver lining to look forward to. There was no glimmer of hope to see. So we finished 5-7, which didn't meet everyone's expectations, but with so much that it's tangible.
look forward to.
There's a lot of tangible good that we have.
All right, we're at an hour. Let's
Okay.
wrap her up.
So with that being said, we still have basketball, we still have ladies basketball and boys basketball. We still have so much Q stuff to love.
Yep, we'll be back with basketball podcasts, hopefully sooner rather than later.
We just felt that this one needed to be
Its
really,
own, yeah.
we
I
needed
couldn't
to
put
be
any other
devoted-
sports
yeah.
in here with this. So with that being said, one last time, guys, thank you, seniors. Looking forward to next year.
I feel like I'm doing yesterday all over again.
There's pictures on Facebook of her just crying at every senior she shook hands with. It was amazing. It was amazing. So thank you one last time to,
Everybody,
yeah, just everybody.
thank you, everybody.
22 names. I can't run them all down, but
We'll never forget you, and if we happen to cross your mind someday, just know that we're still thinking of you.
yep. Come on up to 327 next year for a game. We'll show you a good time.
All of the wedge heads, like and not just parents and players, are like everybody. Just come
Everybody.
play with us.
So that's what we got for you today, guys. One season in the books again of Cuse Yourself. First season down. Can't wait for the next one.
Many more to come.
Many, many more to come, guys. As always, bleed orange. Go Cuse yourself.
Wedge
Wedge
heads.
heads. So you're not going to drink it? We out.